Welcome everyone to the Goddess Temple. My name is Chris, and for today's video, um, what wants to come through is this ability to say yes to your potential and your possible new future. There is this inner desire that you have. It's so faint, but it's not at the same time because you keep wanting this thing that you know that may or may not happen, and it may or may not be for your highest of your highest, and yet it is something you want. This thing that you want, this you that you are saying yes to, it's here. And it's uh, this courageous place that you come from, and you're saying, you know what? I'm actually going to lean into it and dream about it and indulge it and live it and experience it, because I know that if it truly is for me, it will come and it will come in effortlessly. I am destined to have it. And it's this deep understanding of I will have it. I will receive it. And you're saying yes to it. You're saying more and more yes to who you are, what you're building, what you're growing, what you're developing. You are saying yes to life. You're saying yes to your growth. You're saying yes to your evolution. You're saying yes to the mission. You're saying yes to the impulses. You're saying yes to the ideas. You're saying yes to the inspiration. I said that again, but let's let's pretend that I said it once, you know? You're saying yes to life, and so continue to say yes to it. Continue to move, to breathe, to express, to create in the way that you know that you're destined to do exactly that. You know, you've worked hard for this. And I'm not saying that life is always going to be easy and effortless. Um, yes, of course, you can ask for a little bit of ease and effortlessness, but you've worked, you put in the work for it. And you know what? Work, it's not that it's hard, but it's like, even with the challenge, it's fun. It's playful. You wouldn't have it any other way. You'll still do it, even if it's challenging. Even if you're tired and exhausted. Even if you kind of feel a little bit messy and all over the place and you're just receiving so much information. And you're like, what the heck do I do with this? Even then, you're still going to show up to do the work. Why? Because it fuels you. There's something about it that just gives you so much life. And so the more you keep saying yes to yourself, the more you keep saying yes to your life, you truthfully show up for you. You're not showing up for anyone else, but it's for you. When you are in pure alignment, you automatically come in with overflow, and you will show up for others, and you will give to them. You will receive all the love that they have. You will notice and recognize it. You'll recognize their abundance and what they are offering. And you know what? You're also going to give back to them. You're also going to support them. And you're going to just do so much more of life. I encourage you to, because you really are meant to have be filled with love, be filled with life, to giggle, to laugh, to play, to know that the way some of these people around you play, it's just, they're just in such a rough, challenging place within them. And they're still showing up to play. You know, you're showing up to play, and so are they. Continue to show up for yourself. Continue to be who you are destined and meant to be. To play truthfully the life that you are meant to play in is the life that you have right now. And you may have just not been able to do it so freely, and it might have required you to put in a lot of work to make sure that all your duckies are in order. You know, everything around you is all in order. Everything around you is taken care of. All your responsibilities and your duties. Everything is taken care of. And now it's time for you to play. And eventually, you're going to shift into something more of, you know what? I'm going to take, I'm going to play wherever I can. I'm going to be playful. I'm going to be cheerful. I'm going to do what I can and to make light of my life. I'm not going to be so rigid about it because I don't like it when people are around me and I've grown up with it and you're like, you know what? I need a change. So let me do it differently. Let me show up differently. Let's see what happens. And that playfulness, that make believe, that pretend play, that's how you do it. That's how you manifest the life that you are destined to live. That's what it is at the end of the day. Yes, there is a degree of seriousness to life. I'm not denying that. But in each place, you have an opportunity to play. You have an opportunity to be creative. You have an opportunity to look at things differently and to savor it, right? You experience it differently, you savor it differently. And I really, really, really want you to lean more into that just for yourself, just to see where life may take you and what life may bring for you. And when you change up this and you become a little bit playful, if you've been especially having some issues with your partner or your friends, you'll be fascinated at how they're responsive to your change of behavior. They'll also show up a little bit more playfully, or they'll be wanting to be around you a little bit more. It's because you're lightened yourself up, you know? You found some type of solace, some type of ease, some type of peace. And that's encouraging. That's a positive way of living and existing. You know, there's this other thing that's coming through. It's that you've tried to put into someone, you know, you showed up for them. They were in a challenging situation, so you showed up for them. You spoke to them, you guided them, you and supported them. But then they went back to a little bit of their old behaviors and they crossed the line a little bit. Now, the thing is, you've forgiven them so many times, and you're like, you know what? I showed up because, you know, I wanted to, and I wanted to be there and support you, but you're crossing the line just a little bit there. And at this point, it's not that there's nothing there for me to forgive, but it's just that you need to fix whatever shit that you're in, and I'm gonna go do my own thing and I'm gonna put my energy somewhere else where I know that I will be more productive in. And secondly, it's like I took time out of my own life to give into you, and then you're doing this. You know, I will be respected, and the thing is, it's not that I will be respected, it's I respect myself. And so I am just going to redistribute that energy that I gave to you. And I gave more than enough for you to grow and expand with. I am just gonna go do my own thing. And now, as I heal and I move through it, and when and if I have the capacity for it, I will come and have that conversation with you. But right now, that's it. I am just gonna go do my own thing. And you take care of your own. And we meet when we meet, right? There's nothing bad that you're taking on forward. There's no guilt, there's no shame. You know they're not the bad person. You know you're not being too heavily rigid, but at the same time, you're like, I have these boundaries. These are new boundaries. And I did already put a lot of the boundaries down, and I came and showed up, but then it got misused, and it's continually getting misused for the to the point that you felt like it was okay for you to behave, act, express in that way. And the thing is, we're not that close for me to work on you, so bye, you know. um so there's a little bit of that that's coming through too. And I've been shuffling this card, so where is the message? um so please, goddess, is there anything that you would like for me to um speak about at this time for this collective? um what is the message? Okay, no, she just wants me to keep talking and to passively shuffle these cards in the meantime. Um, so yes, it's this, you put in the work to also understand certain behaviors and the way that people may have been thinking it's okay that they can just show up whenever as they please and speak to you and interact with you and create with you. But you're like, no, I am limited. I have limited time just as much as you have limited time, and there's places that I do want to give my energy to, and even creativity and art and expression that I've given my energy to. And the thing is, I'm changing all of that. Everything is changing. Every way that I have showed up in my life, I am changing it. And if I'm changing the way that I'm distributing my energy, yes, that also means the amount of people and the people that I am actively letting in, and how often and frequent I am, and what I share with them is changing. The information I share is changing. So there's a lot of change that's happening in the spring. I feel like you're in the spring months of your internal clock. Um, and it also could be your external environment too, is that time of the year. But your internal clock is this spring, and so you're moving through a lot of these changes. You're realizing a lot of the things that you put in, that you planted in during the winter months. Um, you've cleaned up a lot, you put in new seeds, and then this spring you are saying, I have put in these intentions, I'm gonna practice it, and by you practicing it, you know that it's going to sprout. And as soon as summer hits, it's coming in very soon for you. As soon as summer hits, you're gonna start seeing these flowers and these blossoms, and you're gonna see those fruits. Eventually, you're gonna be able to pick off of them and see how and why and what it has yielded for you. The abundance it truly has given you, and this fear of, what if things go wrong? What if I actually don't get the thing that I do? That voice is significantly decreasing to the point that you don't even recognize it. You don't even notice that it's even there anymore. You didn't dismiss it, you didn't play it small, you didn't degrade it. You just said, I am going to give more life to other parts. And so this new part, you're allowing it to transform on its own and correct itself. Okay, you're allowing it to correct itself. You know what you need to work on. You know what you need to move through. You know what aspects of you need to be changed and transformed and transmuted. You know what needs to be alchemized. At the same time, you're saying, you know what? I am going to let that up to God, to Goddess, to Source to guide me through whatever it is, and whatever journey that I'm going through with that, it will automatically change. And so you're at the stage right now, you're not actively looking and staring down at it. and saying, when are you changing? When are you getting out of my life? You're not doing that anymore. Your attention has shifted more into, okay, this is here. I hear you. I see you. I acknowledge you. And you know what? I am going to do, create, live, move differently. And you will give me an inspiration on how to do things differently. Um, and you know that the intention that you've set to change it is all that you needed, and just with time, with giving yourself that space, with giving that little energy the space, the time, it will do the transformation that it needs to do on its own, and then you will be able to come in again and create with it differently, move with it differently. So let yourself really lean into that and to play with it, to let yourself play with life differently, to know that it's okay for you to create and have your desires and wishes, and for you to do it with people that have similar interests as you, similar intentions and similar desires, similar motivations, similar visions, and you're being brought into spaces and shown communities and ideas and people that have similar interests, right? That that beauty that you are leaning into is so abundant and fruitful and energetic, and you're saying yes to it all. You're saying yes to who you are here to be, that your abundance and your truthfulness is yours to keep, and that also will change, and you're okay with the fact that it may even just be something that is short term. You're okay with the short termness to it, and you're okay with how it may or may not change and transform and what it will yield for you. You're okay with the fact that things that were changing and intentions that people had and choices that people had, that choices that people made, you're like, I'm ready to let go of this. Yeah, I'm ready to change. I'm ready to do things differently. I'm ready for me. I'm ready to experience and have new, abundant, prosperous life, and to feel different. The way you see yourself, the way you feel about yourself, the way you're experiencing life, everything is different. The way your mind works, you're noticing that there's these little intricacies, these nuances, that things that you thought about, there's things that were more in the back burner or that just didn't take up so much attention. Now it is. And then other things that were taking up attention, they're like, you're like, I'm done with that. I'm not even thinking about it. It's not important to me, right? The moon at the bottom of the deck, and then you have the Ace of Swords as well, right? And then you have Death under that. So yeah, and it just keeps going, going, going. And so you're saying yes to the way that life is saying yes to you, the way that you've been shifting and alchemizing. You're noticing these little nuances. You're noticing yourself more than you've ever noticed. And you're letting this part of you, this you, exist. And you're saying, yeah, it's different. However, for some reason, the people around me, I thought they would leave, but they're still here. How is that possible? But it's possible. And I'm like, okay. You're like, okay. So what's next? What else can I change? What else do I want to change? Or what do I want to enjoy now? You know? Where do I go next? What do I do? You're becoming more creative. You're becoming more playful with your life. I'm not sure if that was the beginning of this message that I was talking about playfulness. Um, yeah, I'm just feel like I've been talking for hours, but no, it's just been almost 20 minutes. Um, yeah, and this card does not want to come out. Come on. Okay, so this is the card, the Six of Swords. If this is the internal clutter that you've had, you're finally moved out of that. So this playfulness that you've leaned into is the calmer waters, is the abundance that you're leaning into. It's more of the mental clarity, the mental calmness, the emotional calmness that you've been experiencing. This is what it is. You've said bye to the chaos. You've said bye to the what ifs. You said bye to the limitations and the fears and the anxiety. Sorry for that. But you said bye to all of that, and now you are welcoming in more of peace. And you're going to take, and you've taken whatever the essentials. You didn't take up what you wanted and what you liked, but you took up the essentials and the core values that you have forward with you. That's it. Your core values is what's guiding you in this new phase. So say hello to it, acknowledge it, move through it with grace and ease. I don't have my water. Okay. Um, yeah, so you're saying yes to it. You're welcoming this new phase of you into your life. And the more you're saying yes to your life, the more you're saying yes to the way you feel that your happiness and abundance is a yes. And that's the confusion and this chaos, the no, you need to do this, no, you need to do that. Instead, all of those little stories, those inputs that people have had, interpretations that people have had, all of that, you said bye to all of it. You said, you know what? It's not my job to figure this out. This is not my story. That's not my story. That's not my life. You're not even giving me a portion of that. And you want me to sit here and listen and be your therapist? Heck no, 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 no. None of that. No more therapy. No more free therapy. Um, let them use their own minds. Let them use their own brains to figure out what their own chaos is and how to get out of their mess. They've been doing it. They know how to. They understand. Let them figure it out. You've done the work. You've recognized when you were asking too much of people and you're like, wait, that's not their job. So if you have the capacity to courteously notice that you are asking too much of someone, and so you step out and you're like, okay, wait, I actually cannot give to this. I am taking too much from this person. I am harming them. Let me go somewhere that this is what they deal with. Let me go sit with the therapist. Let me go sit with the coach. Let me go sit with the specialist. And work through this with them. Why the heck am I doing it with someone that has no experience about it or around it? Let me do it with someone that does have experience, that knows how to deal with it. And it's not family, so it's a third party, it's a neutral person that so they can actively catch these little places that you are may not be noticing. And so to also have a truthful voice come at you, it's not that they are filtering you through their own lens of you and what they interpret and think that you are, but they're just actively hearing what you're saying and they're catching the nuances that you're not able to hear and catch. So this new person that you've, you know, been speaking with and doing the changes and the practices with, you're extending that potential and possibility for this person that's been gaining from you, taking from you. You're telling them, you're giving them the courtesy of, you know what, they have the potential and the capacity to, and you've already told them to. You've already suggested that they go out and find the support, the healing that they're looking for. You've already said it. So, and the thing is, they just don't want to. They're not taking the steps to do it. So you're like, I'm gonna keep silent. I'm gonna keep my peace. All right? I am keeping my peace. Keep your peace. Please keep your peace because this is for you. Without your peace, you cannot do anything. You cannot make what you're making. You cannot continue to create, you cannot even be inspired. So for you to be inspired, it means for you to say bye to this person, to take back and to be playful. You are stepping into more of a place of peace. I'm just gonna, yeah, pick that up. Yeah, gosh. You got the Knight of Cups. So with this Knight of Cups, at the bottom of the deck is the Ten of Wands. The Knight of Cups, this being the emotional peace, the emotional wave of inspiration, the emotional creativity, the emotional sovereignty, especially with this eagle that this person is holding. It's this guiding compass. Your peace guides you and tells you which is the best way for you to move. What's the best way for you to get to the goal and the intention that you've set for yourself? And what does that look like? What does that sound like? And for you to practice it, for you to say yes to it and practice it. And so you are. You're practicing everything that you said that you've been wanting to have. You're saying yes to life. You've said yes to it and you're saying more and more yes to it. And you're creating for yourself. You're creating what you are destined to create. And it's that inner peace, that inner sovereignty, is that whatever chaos is going on, right? Whatever chaos with all the waters brushing up against the horse, with whatever chaos is going on around you, you're saying, it doesn't move me. That's just chaos. You can hear beyond the chaos. You can hear beyond those voices. You can hear beyond the people asking for the help and the, why are you leaving me behind? And why aren't you doing this for me? Why aren't you, why, not, you're hearing yourself beyond all of those voices. And you're saying, I welcome in my own abundance. I say hello to my abundance. I am welcoming in me, and I say yes to me. Nope, she wants me to say more. And so it's this perspective that you have. So this eagle eye vision, this bigger picture, this perspective that you have um, of your life, of what's actually happening. So you're recognizing that there is more to the story that you are not conscious of. However, you know that your body feels it. Your body feels that there is more that you're not noticing. Now, do you need to know what that more is for you to move forward? No. But you're asking your body, you're asking your higher self, you're asking your guides and your spirits to guide you and to give you the utmost direction for you to align to your internal sovereignty, for you to align to your vision, to align to your dream, to align to your, to align to you, and to move forward in that direction, and to be guided and directed towards that direction. So you're following this eagle eye, this version of you that already sees the bigger picture, that sees everything that's happening, and you're letting that guide you, your own totem animal guide you towards your most aligned path. It's this internal compass that you're saying yes to, and you're not creating with that weight and the chaos. You're not trying to assume, oh, this is what I need to create. No more assumption, no more um, egotistical, small-minded way of creating. No more short-term fixes. Short-term fixes. It's more rapid, not rapid, but it's like a little bit more instant. The fix and the direction and sorry, it's no more rapid fixes and quick fixes, but it's more of I am going to continue to move towards the abundance of the pentacles, seven of cups, seven of cups. I am going to move towards the abundance of options that I have, and there is this internal guiding system that I'm actively listening to, and so I am going to lean more and play more with that. And the more I keep playing with my most aligned version of me, I will see and yield the experience, the fruits, the juiciness of life, and I will get to meet the part of me, live and have the experience of me that I am destined to have. I have put myself on hold for all of this time, for such a long time, because I wanted to see if there was a way to actively bring forward and go along this journey alongside the people that I currently am with, but I'm realizing they've caused way too much chaos and pain and disturbance. And you know what? You're not angry at them anymore, but it's like you're saying, yeah, I'm good. I am going to say yes to myself because I followed you along your journey when you did not even have the courtesy to have that conversation with me and actively co-create with me. So why the heck should I extend that to you when you're not offering that to me? Let me take that back and let me put into someone that does actively co-create with me and that is actively going along this life journey and path with me. Okay? Um, that you're not secondary to them, but you are actively a primary concern, and they extend that conversation with you. They even have the conversations of, you know what, this is things that I want to create. Um, you know, I want to do that with you, or they take an interest in what you're creating, and it's not just they take an interest, but they actively ask you about it, and you ask them too. You extend that to them, right? So have these little conversations. Ask them um, where you're going, and when I say them, I mean these new people that you're stepping in with. You're learning that there's more playfulness available, and you're saying yes to that. You're saying yes to the way that you've been feeling and the chaos and the confusion. You're saying, wait, I need to step away from this because I actually need space because it's not clear for me. But there is something that is within me that has a better view, a better understanding of the situation. And I am going to listen to that part and ask that part to guide me on what's the best thing. So there's something that is currently happening that I do not see and understand. And I trust there's a part of me, a version of me that does and that chooses differently. And I want to lean into that because I am still going to be creating this thing that I am wanting to create. Oh, she said that's complete. Okay. I thought that I would have a little bit more to pull out, but I am amazed at how she ended off there. So I really hope that this message has supported you and given you a little bit of clarity, a little bit of insight into where you're going and what you're leaning into more of and who you're becoming along your journey. I hope that this has given you a little bit of solace into your path and that you have the courage and the capacity to step more into you, step more into your life, and to actively and courageously say yes to life. And so, with that little bit, I wish you guys all the best, and I will speak to you soon.